Well, thank you, Senator Kittleman, for that introduction. Appreciate that. And thank you all for coming. If you're hoping to hear a typical partisan political speech full of red meat and applause lines, you've come to the wrong place. I'm running for office because I'm passionate about public policy. And tonight, I would like to make the case for specific public policy reforms to Maryland's safety net that will help those who need second chances. Look, I love free markets. Capitalism creates higher living standards and revolutionary medical advances. By embracing public policies that encourage entrepreneurs to risk private capital, we are betting on a better life for you and me and everyone. But it is because of our support for free markets that we must also support a limited but effective safety net. And here's why. Capitalism only works if we allow for what economists call creative destruction. It's a process that moves the horse buggy away but brings us the car. Creative destruction is great, but it always results in job loss for those working in industries disrupted by new technologies. People who lose jobs because of the dynamism of free markets deserve temporary assistance. Also, capitalism has produced many amazing medical advances, but sickly babies who before would have died at childbirth or soon thereafter now survive. Survival of the fittest has been replaced by transformative new medicines and medical advances that have allowed even those with bad genes to get by. But these people who would have perished before need some assistance. In America, we should never have a ceiling that caps the level of economic success we want to achieve. But I do believe we should have a floor. We're a better country because senior citizens have access to Social Security and Medicare. And when I think about that safety net, that floor, I think of the cold floor, the cold streets on which I would sleep if I didn't have help from a family and a targeted safety net. I'm running for office because I want to reform and improve Maryland's safety net. One terrific idea comes from Doug Gansler, a candidate to become Maryland's next governor, a Democrat. He suggests that rather than provide unemployment insurance in the form of cash payment, we should enable those receiving such benefits to be placed at a local company for up to 8 weeks of training. Employers can test out a potential new hire, and the unemployed can demonstrate how valuable they can be to a company. Another important reform involves bringing back vocational training, offering opportunities for high schoolers to become certified in a skilled trade without having to rack up $100,000 of debt or more at college is a great way to expand opportunity in Maryland. Then there are reforms that will help those who have severe mental illness. Early intervention is essential. On a county level, improvements should be made to what are called the core service agencies. Run by the counties, some core service agencies work really well and some don't. We need to improve these around the state because investing in preventative measures saves money in the long run. And we need to strike a balance between individual liberty and public safety by passing an assisted outpatient treatment law, which would place a small number of individuals who have severe mental illness under court order to adhere to treatment as a condition for remaining in the community. If done correctly, an AOT law will save money and it will save lives. Providing a net to help people bounce back from challenges must include a hard look at our prison system. In Maryland, we spend nearly $40,000 a year to jail a person. That's the price of 1 year at Johns Hopkins. But while it takes 4 years at Hopkins to earn a bachelor's degree, it takes a much shorter time in prison for a nonviolent offender to earn a degree in criminality. We must pursue reforms that reduce recidivism and encourage rehabilitation. And we should follow the recommendation of the Maryland Task Force on Prisoner Reentry to close 2 prisons and shift nonviolent offenders into alternative treatment. Governor Rick Perry has done similar things in Texas to tremendous effect. And we should also make it easier for inmates to receive a GED or technical training or even a bachelor's degree. In Louisiana, for instance, more than 100 prisoners from a maximum security prison have earned divinity degrees and have gone on to inspire troubled youth. And if we are going to incarcerate a nonviolent offender, we should consider reforms modeled after Fairfax County in Virginia. 1 sleepless night away from society offers a nonviolent offender a wake-up call to shape up without forcing job loss, without forcing such a person to enter the prison underworld, and without forcing young boys and girls to grow up without a father. Without a parent, usually a father. Which brings us to my final point. The best safety net is a stable and supportive family. I was diagnosed as having bipolar disorder in 2004. I was very sick. My life could have gone either way. It's very possible that rather than be standing before you tonight, I could be homeless or dead. And I've given a lot of thought to the question, what has made the difference? Well, I benefited from modern medicine, great psychiatrists, and a targeted safety net. A large part of my recovery had to do with relearning social trust. I got better because people who I thought hated me would wave from their cars and stop to talk. It's a phone call from a busy sister and an old friend visiting me in the hospital. And it's more than traditional friend and family relationships. It's playing a pickup game of basketball, missing a layup, and getting encouragement and getting past the ball for another shot. When we become isolated, we become more vulnerable. Families and teachers, friends and civic groups, pastors and rabbis, scoutmasters, help us avoid the poverty of the soul and the material poverty that so often follows. The true fight to reduce economic insecurity, to promote upward mobility, to keep people out of jail, and to help those who have mental illness begins by strengthening civil society. So here is one specific, though controversial, idea that I believe will help strengthen our communities. We should teach to 9th graders in health class in public school how important marriage is. Consider the cultural peer pressure not to smoke or to lower one's carbon footprint. Think of the pervasive messages of the DARE program and Mothers Against Drunk Driving. If we could push these ideas I support, by the way, can't we at a minimum honestly discuss and teach empirical data that illustrates how important stable families are for our children, for our community, and for our country? Empirical data, such as how for Marylanders, marriage drops the chances of childhood poverty by 89%. I've been very blessed, and I would like to take my experiences and to work to help others who haven't been as fortunate. And I hope you can join me and give me your support and your vote on November 4th. If you have any questions for me, I plan to stick around until they kick us out and to talk to all of you guys as I can. Also, there's some information on the back table about me and also the other candidates running for District 13. So really honored you came, feel very blessed that you guys came, and be honored to serve as your state delegate. Thank you.